the world's richest man and the world's most famous man, really.
Yeah, exactly. It's the richest versus the most powerful, or another way is one super ego versus another super ego. I mean, like you say, no one thought this was going to last. In fact, there's reports that both Musk's staff and White House staff were running separate books, betting on when it would all fall apart. Because, look, this is a soap opera writ large. It's like Succession meets Home and Away. And it's all been devolving like right before our eyes over the past 6 hours. Because at 11:59 this morning, President Trump was doing a press brief in the Oval Office, and at 11:59 he says, "Oh, you know, Musk was a good bloke, and I really liked him." But by 12:08, he's going, "Oh yeah, but he was wearing thin. I had to ask him to leave." And meanwhile, Musk is live tweeting, and by 12:46 p.m. Musk is going, "Well, he would never have won the election without me."
Yeah.
So
he's still going. The last one was an hour ago.
Oh, dude, mate, and I guarantee you they both will keep going because they're both posting. You know, one has the Oval Office, but by and large, they're both posting on their own social media platforms. There's nothing to stop them.
So who wins here? I mean, who's right? Because, I mean, does Musk have a point that his job in Doge was to make cuts, to make savings, and if this big, beautiful bill does the exact opposite, then is he right to be aggrieved?
Well, time will tell. And I would question whether Musk has a right to feel aggrieved because he was brought in on a special invitation to do a special job.
True.
But the executive branch of the government has its, constitutional right to continue forming policy as it
Well, he's the
sees
president.
fit.
It's the government. He's the president. Yeah, at the end of the day.
Absolutely. But you're right to pinpoint what President Trump calls his big, beautiful bill. It's like all his policies and his great wish list rolled into one that he's trying to shove through Congress, and it's about to hit potentially a brick wall in the Senate. At the same time, Musk is trying to cut costs, and everyone knows that the big, beautiful bill is going to add costs.
So, I mean, look, there's just, like you said, it's so entertaining and there's just so much here to talk about. Unfortunately, we've only got a small amount of time, but the Epstein thing this morning, Michael, is that new? Because if I'm not mistaken, that link has been made before.
Yeah, no, we've seen the photograph. There's a photograph of the president and Epstein. But what Musk is saying is that, oh, no, there's more to it than that. And that's why even the Attorney General won't release the files.
Well, is that defamatory?
He's claiming there's a bipartisan. Yeah, I would think so. But you have to remember, Australia is a defamation prison. We have some of the strictest laws in the world, whereas here it's almost a free-for-all. But and Musk is claiming it's a bipartisan cover-up because there's Democrats' names in those files, plus there's President Trump's and other Republicans' names in those files. So it all seems a little bit silly, but look, his calls for impeachment, let's impeach Trump, put the Vice President J.D. Vance in power. Where the rubber could hit the road on this is with space, because America is relying heavily on commercial interests and enterprises to service its space interests, and foremost amongst them is Musk's SpaceX. So now he's stomping his foot and having a little tanty and says that I'm going to stop using my Dragon X rocket, which is the primary vehicle
for
that
astronauts.
is used by America to service the International Space Station.